Hello friends, this presentation will guide us on how to create a backsheet or title block, applying the title block to the layer or paper space, and be able to use the title block to print these lift well drawings to scale successfully. We are going to be printing them to scale. The most effective way to do that, we will be looking at it in this presentation. This is the lift well that we have worked on, designed in Protastructure in the last two lessons we had. So if you're not in the lesson, you will see the lesson at the left upper corner of this window at the end of this particular lesson. And this is a template of the lift where I have successfully edited the presentation and construction drawing of the lift well, just like this. So if you need this drawing, you can see the link to download this drawing at the description of this video. So let us get started. So for example of what we will be looking at is this. Alright, so this is a paper space. We will be able to create the backsheet or title block applied to paper space, and then we will make sure that we scale the drawings successfully to it. Let's get started. So first of all, what we need to understand is paper sizes. Actually, for us to print a structural drawing, we normally use A3 size paper size. All right, and the A3 size paper size is 420 by 297. All right, so that is what we are going to be creating right away. So you just have to hit on the line command right there, but by then you have to enable a layers name as paper space, but in this case we have not set any layers for that. All right, so we can choose to use any layers we have right away for it, but in your own case you can create layers for that. So if I choose this layer and then I'll pick on the line on this, I will do 420 like this, enter. You can see how small it is by 297, enter, by 420 again, enter, then C on the keyboard to close it up, just like this. So this is A3 size paper. If I should dimension it, I hit on the linear dimension, pick the first point and the second point right there. This is 420 by 297, just like this. Okay, so I will be deleting this. All right, so in a back sheet or a title block, we do have where we have the information of the project. So we will be offsetting from this point inward. We will have 60 right there, like this. We will have something like this. Okay, in this provision is where we are going to be having all the necessary informations. All right, so also we will have a border line. Okay, for the border line we will use 5 millimeter. All right, 5 millimeter, just like this. Okay, so we will be having the offset also in these provisions, and then we'll be able to trim it. You type trim on the keyboard, T arrow, to be able to trim it. So we can have a very neat title block, just like this. After which we will be providing some provisions for the project name and the rest of that. Okay, so the first provision we will have, you just have to pick a line, and you know the best way to design these particular provisions to your own test. All right, so we may use this provision for notes and use this place for the name of the company that is actually doing the project. Then the next provisions is for maybe the project review, the debt review, and the date that the project is issued for constructions, we may have something of this kind in these provisions, just like this. Then the next can be the project, the title of the project, and the next we may have the client. This provision is for the client. Okay, then the next we may have the principal. All right, after which we may also have the people that are involved in the drawings, like the designer, the person that checked the drawings. We also have the scale of the drawings. So we may have all of that in these provisions successfully. So these particular provisions, the way you may do your own may be different from how I am doing my own, but it's going to be something like this. Okay, so this is the title block. So this title block, now we will be taking it to paper space layout. Okay, so if I click on the layout, this is what you are having right away. So we want to be setting this layout to A3 size. Okay, we'll be setting this layout to A3 size. So what we need to do is you just have to right click on this, and then first of all you have to rename this layout. You can call it drawing 1, just like this. All right, after successfully renaming it, place your cursor on the drawing 1 layer, right click again, and then click on page setup manager. This one, in these provisions, come to modify. All right, in the modifications you just have to select A3 size paper. Okay, select A3 size paper, and then you click on OK. So if you check the paper size now is A3 size. Okay, the plot size is 297. Okay, so you can now check display when create new layout, and then you click on close. So this has been adjusted successfully, after which you go back to the model space. This is our title block. I like this title block, right click and then copy it, just like this, take it to the model space, and then you paste it here, just like this. Okay, so if you try to dimension this, you have it to be 420, which is 420 by 297. So this is the actual A3 size paper. All right, so we want to transfer this paper size that we created, or the backsheet or the title block, to fit into the layout here. All right, and for us to do that effectively, you have to just type or hold the control and press P as though you want to print it. Okay, which is control P to print or to plot. So click on the continue to plot a single sheet option. In these provisions, you can either choose your printer to be PDF Nitro Pro, and then you select the plot size to be A3. Then the provision where you have layer, you have to change to window, and then you fit the paper to window, just like this. After which you will just have to click on this window to pick the 2 edge of this paper, just like this. So after picking that 2 edge, what we intended to do is to apply it to layout. So you click on apply to layout, and we are going to be clicking on OK. Once we click on OK, that blank paper or title block we have set will be printed, and we will not have need for that, so we will delete that successfully. So click on the OK options. You will notice that title block will move to the layer space, this center of this layer space. The title block we created will move to the center of the layer space, which is what we are going to do as soon as we save this now. So you click on save. You see it has been adjusted, and we have printed a title block, a blank title block, just like this, which we don't have need for it, and we just have to click on the close option to close this. Now coming back to drawing 1 layer, you see it has moved to the layer space, just like this. All right, so with this now, we now start to print our drawing. But since we want to have like 3 or 4 sheets that we will need to put our drawing inside, we just have to create multiple of layers or multiple of paper space, because this is the first paper space. We'll be having the second one, and we'll give it a name as drawing 2. So for us to have the next one, which is going to be a copy of this one, we are going to select this drawing one, right click, and then you navigate to move or copy. Once you click on that move or copy, you select this and then create copy. Make sure you check these provisions, after which click on the OK options. It's going to create another one right there. Okay, so with this one now, we will rename it as drawing 2, just like this. After you name it, click outside there, then come to the drawing one right there, rename it so that you can have it as drawing 1. Okay, just like this. All right, so we continue to create multiple layers. Select the drawing 2, right click and move or copy. All right, select drawing 2, create a copy, click on OK. A copy is created. Rename it again as 3. This one is going to be drawing 3, like this. Okay, while this one will be drawing 2. So you have to remove this 2, just like this. Click outside to get that activated. So for us to copy the drawing 3, select drawing 3, right click, and then move or copy. Select drawing 3, create a copy, click on the OK. All right, then edit this to drawing 4. Okay, drawing 4. All right, and then edit this one as well to drawing 3. All right, just like this. As well, depending on the name you want to use, you can use sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and sheet 4. All right, so after having this done, you can get back to the model space, and then you zoom closely to the work. So these are the work we are going to put in the paper space. All right, this is the lift. Okay, the lift well drawings, the lift well construction drawing. So if you are in need of this, you want to get this, check in the description of the video. You see a link where you can get this downloaded successfully. All right, so we are going to be putting 1, 2, 3, 4 of this part of this drawing to one sheet. Then the next one, we'll just take 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the next sheet, and take this to another sheet, and the all of this another sheet. All right, so for us to do that effectively, you come back to drawing 1 or sheet 1, enable it. In this provisions, you just have to use a line to demarcate this sheet into 4 provisions. Okay, we divide it into 4 provisions, just like this. We have it just like this. So this 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for us to print the first one, you type MV on the keyboard, MV, just like this. This MV simply means model view. Okay, so you click on that and enter. Okay, so you specify the first corner and then the last corner, just like this. So this will enable us to see the drawing that is in the model space while we are in the paper space. All right, so with this, now we now zoom in. You see, if you zoom in, the whole sheet is zooming, but you have to just double click inside of this provision, just like this, to activate the working process of the model space, just like this. So we are going to be considering this first one. We have already assigned a scale to it. Scale 1 is to 40. So we want to be scaling this to this paper space to assume this scale 1 is to 40 successfully. All right, so for us to do that, you have to align this particular drawing. Once you get that highlighted, you type Z on the keyboard. Z simply means zoom, enter. All right, so the scale now, you just have to key in 1 divided by 40, which is, we are considering scale 1 is to 40. Then you you suffix it with SP, just like this. All right, and then after we hit on the enter key, and this will zoom out like this. So with this now, the drawing is in scale 1 is to 40. All right, now you don't need to use the wheel of the mouse again. What you need to do is to use the palm command to palm it so that it can be in the right position. As you can see, some part of the dimension is hidden. So you use palm, don't use zoom, because if you use zoom, you change it from the scale. So click on the palm and then hold it and palm it in a way that it is good, like this. All right, after which escape the palm command, then double click outside here to deactivate that particular window, just like this. So now it is deactivated. So this is the drawing we have gotten, just like this. Okay, so the same thing will be applicable to these provisions. All right, we will type MV. All right, just like this. Then pick the first point and the second corner point, double click right there. This was the one we printed successfully. This time around we'll be printing this one. So highlight all of this again, type on the keyboard, zoom, enter, 1 divide by 40. All right, then SP just like this and enter. Use the palm option to palm it just like this. Then double click outside to deactivate the window. Before then, you have to escape the palm command and double click outside just like this. So here we proceed to the next one. We will go by MV again, enter, and after which double click inside to activate the window and zoom this closely. We will be printing this time around. So highlight all of this. All must not be in the same scale, okay, but you just have to use the scale that make it more visible. All right, so get that selected, Z on the keyboard, enter, 1 device 40, then suffice it with SP, and then you enter. Use the palm option to palm it. Peradventure you by mistake zoom it, you have to rescale it again. So this is the most effective way you can't scale your drawing, right, to paper space. So we will proceed MV just like this, okay, and we will pick the first and the opposite corner point, double click right there, and then zoom it closely. This time around, let's check this scale. This 1:50. All right, so we will be using scale 1:50. Get that highlighted just like this, Z on the keyboard, and then 1 divide 50 just like this, then suffice it with XP, enter just like this. Use the palm option to palm it so you can be able to position it very well. All right, so you have to just escape the command first, click outside to deactivate the command. So if actually you have successfully get this scale and fit the drawings according to the scale, and you have not written the scale under the drawings, you can go into the model space and be able to key in the scale that you have used successfully. So we have created this first sheet, drawing sheet or drawing 1 paper successfully. Okay, the same thing applicable to drawing 2. We are going to be doing that successfully. So you apply the same procedure to be able to put your drawing to paper like the drawing 2 tab, right, just like this. The same procedure as well as drawing 3 and 4. All right, use the same procedure to put it to paper space. And again, if you don't need this line to come up, this line that you have drawn, you can't as well delete the line off so that you won't see the line again. All right, so if you want to lock this, you can also lock this sheet in such a way that if you click right inside here, it's not going to activate the model space window. How do you do that? You can just do Control and then 1 to enable the property dialog. All right, so select the sheet. Okay, like I want to lock this one now, I will have to select this just like this. After getting that selected, if you come in this provisions, where you have display locked, you can see no, so you just select there and then choose the yes option. So after you must have choose the yes options, it means this particular viewport is locked. So if you try to double click right there, it's not going to enable you, right? It's not going to enable you into the model space. It's not going to enable you. Double click, it's not going to enable you into the model space, just like this. Okay, so this is how you can lock your viewport successfully. Okay, so if you want to plot this right away, you can just go on Control P to plot just like this. Okay, and then you go to continue to plot. For you to be able to plot black and white successfully, you have to select monochrome as the plot style. Okay, you select monochrome just like this. You choose your printer. If you don't have a printer, you can publish to PDF. All right, just like this, and then you can use window or you can use layout. Okay, you can select layout and use layout because all your drawing is on the layout, so you can use layout and print your drawing successfully. So you can also use window to print your drawing, okay, by clicking on this window just like this, and then pick the opposite corner of the title block just like this, and then you have to center the plot and also fit to paper just like this. Make sure you are on landscaping. All right, you can just preview it to see the way it looks just like this. This is very nice. Okay, so having preview it like this, you can now right click on the plot options, and this will take you to the directory where you will save this particular drawing you plotted. You click on save. The name is existing. You can change the name or you overwrite successfully, and this drawing will be plotted just like this. Okay, so you can see how it is, the scale and everything is coming up very bold and everything is good like this. So you click on the close options. So if you notice, this one is adjusted because we did not lock this particular window. All right, that is why locking the windows are very important. Okay, we mistakenly adjusted this one, so it has been moved out of scale. All right, so for you to bring it back to the scale, we just need to do double click right there to activate the window, zoom it closely again, and using the same method, highlight it and then type Z on the keyboard 1 device 40 just like this, then surface it with XP like this, enter. Then you can now use the palm options to palm it in like this. All right, so this is bigger. The scale we used here was 1:50, so do that again. Z, enter, 1:50 just like this, SP and enter. So use the palm option to palm it just like this. This is okay. Escape, double click outside to the advert that, select this window, come to display lock. It is no, say yes to that. Okay, so now the viewport is locked successfully just like this. Okay, so this is how you can actually print your drawings. If you have any question, you can drop it at the description of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel successfully. All right, see you in the next lesson. And if you need this template, check the description of this video. You can be able to download it right there. See you in the next lesson. Once again, bye for now.